I'm still so confused about full manual and why it's so insanely difficult on RuneScape 3 for some people. Like, I don't know. So for me, first of all, there's a difference between like going full revolution and like having your thresholds be on revolution. But can't you participate in every single piece of content with your thresholds? So now if you do go to full manual though, like, why is it more difficult on RuneScape 3 to use full manual than every other MMO? Because every other MMO is full manual, and it's not tough. Like, yes, you can get better at it. There's people who can, let's say on World of Warcraft, they can parse at the highest DPS and keep that up consistently for the entire length of a raid while avoiding mechanics from a boss. Like, that's kind of cool, right? But just using full manual isn't, like, difficult. Do you know what I mean? So where's the difficulty with RuneScape and full manual? Like, why do I not understand this? It doesn't click for me. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to guess it's the way combat is taught in the game or lack thereof. People start with Revo and never move. That, my friend, is why I only play RuneScape. My brain doesn't brain when it comes to combat like that. But, like, I don't use my brain half the time when I'm doing combat in World of Warcraft, right? Like, I know my rotations, I know my buttons, I press them, sometimes they do things. Like, it's not that big of a deal, I feel like. I just want someone to explain it to me, because people talk about full manual in RuneScape like it's this only God players can use full manual, when every other major MMO on the market is full manual. No other game does your abilities for you the way RuneScape does. So I'm just confused. A lot of DPS tips and tricks are only there because people know them through like PVM encyclopedia and stuff. Yeah, I think, and like I'm saying, I think you can make the full manual very complicated if you want to do top of the line DPS, but you can do that in every video game. Right? You can do that in World of Warcraft. People who parse at the top level, they are on another level, right? They're better than everyone else in the world at it. But what is this pedestal that people put people on when they're playing full manual in RuneScape? It feels weird to me. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll go full manual just to try it out and see like if it's that much worse DPS. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right to me. It seems weird. And on top of that, RuneScape's system, like, you can line spells up. Like, when I press 2 here, the next time this ability is available, it's gonna pop. So that's even less manual than World of Warcraft, right? Because in World of Warcraft, my ability has to be available and I have to press it at the same time. I can't line up skills to happen in advance, right? So even the full manual isn't full manual on RuneScape. Like, these abilities will go off when I select a target. People turn off ability queuing when they go full manual. I don't know why, but they do. I didn't know you could. So you can go full manual. I didn't know that was an option. Like I said, though, it's just the way my and certain people's brains work. I'm very passive when it comes to games. So I think the reason that this system exists in RuneScape is because RuneScape combat used to be, like, if you look at old school, you click, you wait. Generally, unless you're doing prayer flicking or something like that, right? But it's a click and wait game. And I think they didn't want to take away from click and wait, and I'm glad they didn't. I like Revolution in RuneScape. I think it's a cool idea. It allows you to play very passively, like you guys say. But what I just don't understand is the pedestal, the high, the oh my god, he plays on full manual. That's so amazing. Like, if you guys played any other MMO, you don't think it's cool when you just participate in normal combat. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to find out why it's cool. I'm sure when Evil Lucario does full manual and he's, you know, having so many actions a second, it's pretty cool, right? I'm not necessarily saying Evil Lucario. I'm talking about the average person playing full manual. Why do we revere them? And is it deserved? Ability queue is whack? Absolutely. I don't like ability queuing. And if you are playing on Revolution and you accidentally press the wrong thing, it can, like, mess up everything and it's super annoying. I was gonna say the only time I really pedestal people like that is with like Luca. He's nuts. Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm not trying to take anything away from Evil Lucario's skill of the game. I'd really like to ask him his opinion of it. I would like to ask his opinion of this because obviously he's played other MMOs. I don't know. Whenever I get to some higher level PVM, I'm gonna try full manual and see how it goes. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm off base. I haven't tried it myself. Maybe it's different to other MMOs. I know you do lose DPS when you're not using the standard or best Revolution ability bar setup. If you go manual and you don't do it properly, you will lose some DPS, right? That's something I've heard. But one thing I did want to mention is the guy that asked that about all of this. You don't need full manual to participate in endgame PVM. You just don't. It is perfectly possible to participate in all of the endgame PVM just by manually using your thresholds, which should only be 3 abilities. Most people can manage those 3s. I think the hardest part about PVM in RuneScape is knowing the boss's mechanics. Less than it is about your ability bar and how much DPS you're doing. Before you can focus on doing better DPS, you need to focus on learning the boss's mechanics. And that's all about just watching videos and guides and trying it, doing it over and over and dying a bunch of times until suddenly you stop dying as often. And then you stop dying at all, right? That's how you learn any boss in any game, really.